Tina Peters, who at the time of the 2020 election was a county clerk in Mesa, Colorado, was sentenced back in August for election tampering.
Prosecutors say she granted conspiracy theorists illegal access to voting systems in her county as she searched for proof of voter fraud. Peters has falsely claimed that Denver-based Dominion voting systems rigged the election against Donald Trump. She's peddled unfounded lies about the 2020 election since her arrest. Trump allies like My Pillow guy Mike Lindell have helped fund her legal defense.
Essentially, she gave other people who were not authorized to have access to voting machines under her control, with the sole purpose of proving that they were flipping votes from Donald Trump to Joe Biden.
What do you think the chances are that you and or Donald Trump are in prison a year or two from now?
This is a very serious offense, and Peters was convicted by a jury of her peers on, I think, 8 charges.
The last time we saw Tina Peters in court, she walked out a convicted felon.
We, the jury, find the defendant Tina Peters guilty of count number 1, attempt to influence a public servant.
The jury found the former Mesa County clerk guilty of 7 of 10 counts stemming from a 2021 security breach of her election equipment.
She decided to complain to the manager.
They counted those ballots. Did they not?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
Did they count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that I would encourage to read the report number 3.
I've read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No, you're the one who's making this allegation that, one,
it's
I think
not
it's
an
funny,
allegation.
and 2, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Peters, she was not at the Cheesecake Factory. She was, in fact, at a hearing room presided over by Judge Matthew Barrett. Now, proving that not all judges named Barrett are hopelessly corrupt hacks, Matthew Barrett had this to say before he sentenced Tina Peters to 9 years in prison.
As a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot help but lie as easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you. And this is what makes Miss Peters such a danger to our community. It's the position she held that has provided her the pulpit from which she can preach these lies. The undermining of our democratic process, the undermining of the belief and confidence in our election systems. It's not about questioning it. No one says you can't question, you can't ask. It's completely different. So the damage that is caused and continue to be caused is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical violence that this court sees on an all too regular basis. And it's particularly damaging when those words come from someone who holds a position of influence like you.
These are extremely powerful words, and it was very heartening to hear a judge take so seriously the sanctity of our elections and to punish in a way that seems commensurate with the seriousness of the crime somebody who seeks to use her position and power to undermine them.
You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. Your lies are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen.
On the other hand, though, it was quite something to listen to Judge Barrett knowing that the words he spoke were most appropriately directed at Donald Trump.
This is a major fraud in our nation. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
This is an extremely flammable situation, and the president just threw a match into it.
Some of the most irresponsible comments that a president of the United States has ever made. He has cast doubt on the integrity of the entire electoral process purely for his own personal advantage.
For the president to say, we want all voting to stop, that's what he said. We don't want them finding ballots in the middle of the night, 4 a.m., and then counting them. That's what happens on election night.
The Trump campaign filed a lawsuit to stop the counting of ballots in Pennsylvania. That is simply wrong.
He is still not willing to accept defeat, fighting his battle in court and on Twitter. Today, the president was still out of sight, calling supporters and tweeting furiously, Twitter slapping warning labels on many of his tweets.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes.
Okay, here we are again in the unusual position of not only interrupting the President of the United States, but correcting the President of the United States. There are no illegal votes that we know of. There has been no Trump victory that we know of.
The man who is currently the Republican nominee to be President of the United States. I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for watching our videos on Mary Trump Media. It means a lot that you keep coming back, and your comments are awesome, and we love how engaged you are. And I'm just hoping that you could take another second and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We really are trying to grow during this quite challenging time. We are, after all, about 30 days out from the most consequential election in our lifetime and potentially in American history. And we're in the middle of a really difficult media environment. Corporate media continues to fail us day after day, and independent media is just starting to take hold. And we really want to be at the forefront of rising to the challenges we're faced with in this current environment. Our goal is to come here every day to provide you with the information you need to be educated, informed, and inspired. It is a privilege to be able to do that. And again, we are so grateful to you.